I'm trying something new with this channel. Also, don't mind the boxes in the background. I'm getting ready to move. I know. I think it's more than obvious. I've been moving really slow when it comes to making content here, and that's gotta change ultimately. I'm gonna try and do a bit more freestyling. I think what happens is typing up like no, there's no excuse. There's no excuse. I need to get in focus mode. I need to get in focus mode. I think there could be a much bigger influx of videos if I just kind of spitball it, freestyle it. I have a lot of concepts. It's just coming up with scripts. I don't know. I guess it just mentally feels like a task to me sometimes, and I don't want it to go to be like that. So I'm just gonna spitball, do it on the fly, and be as original as I can, and be as well spoken as I can when it comes to this stuff. And also that means there's gonna be a lot more sound in the background of my videos because I'm trying to be a bit more consistent too. So bear with me. Bear with me. Now, as I was saying, we're going to be going from section 80 all the way up to GNX. Let's get started on that. Let's get started on that. Also, just so you guys know, S for me is about 10 out of 10. A is 9 out of 10. B is 8 out of 10. C is 7 out of 10. D is 6 out of 10 to 5 out of 10. F is 4 out of 10 and below. That's how I do my rankings. Sue me. I don't care. Section 80. Kendrick's first ever project, and some people still claim it's a mixtape. At this point, I don't really know. I'm pretty sure it's his debut album. I don't know where the mixtape argument comes from, but I'm pretty sure this is now considered, like, it's mainly considered his debut project before G.K.M.C. So, man, when it comes to Section 80, not only is this the beginning of Kendrick Lamar, but this is also the start of his journey. The beginning of his journey, right? This is early. His lyricism has come so far since this time. His concepts have gotten so deep since this time. He's essentially found himself after the creation of this project. Like, he's gone on to find himself not long after the creation of this project. This did feel a bit more all over the place when it came to cohesion, right? There wasn't really a structured path that he was taking on this project. There was a lot of great ideas, however. That doesn't change the fact that there were a lot of great ideas that he had in the making of this project. You have songs like Ronald Reagan Era, which I recently got into. Let me talk about that. Oh my gosh. Like, this was one of the last Kendrick Lamar's albums, funny enough, I had gotten to a while back. But every time I go back to it, there's a new song that I am completely obsessed with. At one point, it was ADHD. Then it was Rigor Mortis. Then it was High Power. Now it's Ronald Reagan Era. There's just so much to go back to on this project. Don't get me wrong, still a lot of weaker tracks on here that don't really do much for him, like Tammy's song. There are certain tracks on here that feel a bit, you know, just leave it in the background, a bit more background, a bit noisy, a bit more tame and kind of underwhelming for somebody of Kendrick's stature. More pop ideas in the mix that don't really feel proper in his sound. But that's a whole can of worms to open. Still a great project, still has a lot to offer. Definitely a really, really, really strong debut from one of the greatest. Section 80 was great, and it only showed how much he had to offer. So, especially going on to create G.K.M.C. right after this, really, like, lets us know this man had, like, potency just waiting to come out. It was pretty obvious. Like, it was clear he was always made for greatness, even from this project. Easily B tier. I feel like there's not much later. Easily B tier. 8 out of 10 for me. Really strong craft, a really strong debut. Love it so much. Some great instrumental ideas, of course, but later on they only get better. Next after that, of course, we have G.K.M.C. Good Kid, Mad City, one of the first ever records I got. I think it's the second ever record I've been given. So, you know, it's outside of that, a project I've always loved since I was little. Also one of the first ever records I've heard in full growing up, from what I can remember, because like half this goddamn album was on the radio, so you just couldn't miss out on it, right? You couldn't escape it. It was so huge for the time. It was so grand, all over the radio, so popular, yet still is such a potent project, still such a strong project, still an even better showcase of Kendrick Lamar's storytelling capabilities. I had heard what's the first track called? Hold on. Shireen, aka Master Splinter's daughter. The story of how Kendrick Lamar got backdoored by an older girl he was seeing. I believe that was the case, right? An older girl he was kind of into. She kind of ended up playing him in the end. But this album realistically does kind of go into showing you Kendrick's surroundings growing up. That's pretty much what this is. It's an open invitation into seeing what Compton was like for Kendrick as a child, the influences he was surrounded by. And wow, let me tell you, he actually went about this in such a poetic way. No poetic justice. He went about this in the most poetic way possible. He did a great job at storytelling. The cohesion is the best it's ever been here. Of course, next to TPAB. But anyway, yeah, Kendrick Lamar's storytelling was at an all-time high. He had a lot to offer. Every feature did their thing on this. I think there are so many cultural moments that came out of this project as well. You have songs like Swimming Pools, which is about drinking addiction. You have tracks like Don't Kill My Vibe. You have tracks like, let's say, Money Trees. There's so many ways to go about this. And of course, you have the ultimate track, Sing About Me, I'm Dying of Thirst. Wanting to be remembered in the end, hoping that you can get to a point where you are immortalized and remembered as one of the greatest of all time, wanting your legacy to end on a high note, wanting to be somebody that left an impact on this world. And I think with each passing album, Kendrick only proves more why he's going to be remembered as a legend. You can't hate on G.K.M.C, some of the greatest points Kendrick has to offer, some of the highest points. But then you also have songs like Real. It's probably the only song that I actually don't care for. Great stuff. Some of his best rapping performances that you can go back to. I also think this does have a lot of tracks that you can constantly return to. It's one of those albums that is just conscious enough for a more dignifying lyrical experience, a more soul-moving experience, while at the same time having enough jam to it that you can kind of mindlessly enjoy it as well, with even songs like Backseat Freestyle on it. So personally, A tier. Personally it's A tier. You could even go, I'm gonna be honest, you can even go S tier. You can even go S tier on it, but I'm gonna leave it at A for now. A strong A. Next, you have To Pimp a Butterfly. To Pimp a Butterfly, man. To get down to the roots, to get down to the first ever layer of this project, to break down each layer and get to the bottom of everything on this, takes a whole college course. Like, you could have a whole class on why TPAB is as important of a project as it is. It is not only the most self-aware project, the most motivating project, it moves a crowd. I will say that much. It does move a crowd. It's a really strong display of what an artist can be capable of when they try their hardest. And you know what? I will say, even outside of the conceptual style, the writing, we'll get more into that in a second. I'll explain more of that in a second. Let's talk about the beautiful jazz funk fusion instrumentals, which I think did pave a path for a lot of future artists when it comes to this genre. Most notably people like Saba and McKinley Dixon, which I think did such justice. I don't know how much funk jazz we've had in rap before this project. I know A Tribe Called Quest is also one of the forefathers of this, so I will also give them their credit. Even people like The Pharcyde had their moments, but To Pimp a Butterfly felt the most soulful out of anything I've heard when it comes to jazz funk fusion rap. The most soulful. It had the most heart put into it. It had the most creative ideas behind it. Wesley's Theory, For Free, You, just some of the best instrumental work from people like Kamasi Washington and even George Clinton. And I think Thundercat. You have which is just the whole shebang of jazz legend, the modern jazz legends. To Pimp a Butterfly is one of the most poetic, poignant stories that could possibly be told, not only in rap but in music in general. And I don't think an album to this day has ever pushed the limits and boundaries and has gone as deep into explaining something as much as To Pimp a Butterfly having so many layers and just so many perspectives to look at it from, and such arguments that can be created from it, such discussions that can be created from something like this. So it's obvious like where it belongs on this list. I don't think that's a question at all. I really don't think so. I don't even think you can point out a moment on this album that has flaws that you can't easily give it credit for being such a beautiful tie-in to the rest of the track list. A beautiful story talking about how the industry can take in somebody who's completely ignorant to anything that isn't making them rich, just taking advantage of somebody from a poor neighborhood, giving them everything they could ever want at the expense of their own freedom. And what makes it so much more relevant as an album and so much more powerful as an album is the fact that it still happens to this day. It's such a huge problem with the industry where people are being mistreated, but they don't even notice it because money is such a blinding factor. But at the same time, you know, being taken away from your family is like, it's like having no time for the people around you, having no time to kind of live your own life, and then even losing a sense of who you are as a person because of how much the fame can change a person, how much the business can change a person, right? It's mentally taxing, it's mentally abusing. It's beautiful that Kendrick did bring such a bright light to this situation, which also is like a segment. It kind of like is a continuation of Good Kid, Mad City, which is the boy kind of dreaming to make it out of the town, dreaming to make it big for his people. Now this is the point where he is big and things just aren't going the way he expected, and it comes with a lot more trouble than he was, you know, expecting once again. And then there's just so many beautiful tracks on it. You have Complexion. Wesley's Theory is one of my favorite songs of all time, one of the greatest intros of all time. Such beautiful, I can't even explain how beautiful the execution was for this project. So many ideas that are amazing, and it feels like watching a theatrical play, which we will get more into with, you know, other albums later on. Like Kendrick in general gives a theatrical experience on every album, but on this one it was really beautiful. Like the song You paints a really vivid picture and tells a really beautiful story. Even songs like How Much a Dollar Costs. But I'm sure you all have heard this track list, so we'll move on. S tier, very powerful, fights the system, shines light on people who need it. Beautiful project, even plays as a cautionary tale. Next we got Damn. This won a Pulitzer Prize. It's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Do I think it's a powerful statement of an album? Sure. Yeah, I think it has a lot to offer in its storytelling. I think it has a lot to offer in its concept, right? Telling a story forward and backward. Do I think there's a lot of lackadaisical moments on this project that don't really show much flavor when it comes to Kendrick's ability? Yeah, also I feel that way too. You have certain R&B eccentric tracks that don't really give me much feeling when it comes to the experience of this album. I feel like he could have gone without the idea of love or loyalty. I can't stand loyalty, let me tell you. Even songs like God, which were played out pretty boring. A lot of boring, yeah, there's like quite a few boring moments on this album. And I get it, like the story is so strong. The concept was great, the execution was powerful, but then there are just so many commercial moments. I'm not a huge commercial music guy. There are so many commercial moments on this project that are like earworm infectious in the most annoying way possible. Songs like DNA and Humble that kind of hammer in that chorus that just kills you. I can't stand it. I got bloody ears hearing that song over and over again. Same thing with Humble. I think I hate Humble even more. Just super commercial moments that feel so plain and so tasteless for somebody as powerful as Kendrick, for somebody as poetic as him. Great, but don't get me wrong, there's some strong showcases on this project. You have songs like Feel. You have songs like you have Feel, you have Element, you got Duckworth. Of course, Duckworth is such a beautiful track. You have XXX. Like, there are still some great moments to come back to on this project, but there are too many points where I am either tired of hearing it or it just doesn't feel like much to me. I don't care for the more R&B eccentric. I don't care for the more commercially pushed choruses. I don't care for them. They all tell a beautiful story. Conceptually speaking, it's great. It's awesome. I could never hate on something like Damn. It's awesome. Through and through, it's an awesome idea, but I can't. I'm gonna be honest. I just can't go back to it too much. It just feels too plain to me. It's like White Castle. I don't care much for it. It's kind of plain. It's kind of boring. It's tasteless. Going C. I can confidently say I'm going C. I don't know how much hate I'm gonna give for that. Next up, we got. I'm assuming this would be next. Untitled Unmastered. I think I can say that much. And maybe it comes before Damn. I don't know. Would these flip-flop around, but anyway, we'll do Untitled Unmastered next. Why not? I don't think there's much else to say here other than deserves love. Deserves so much love. I know it gets a lot of love already, so I'm not gonna even say it's underrated. I think it's properly rated. It gets all the love it needs. Bro, Untitled, like, just throwaway tracks. These are throwaways. The idea of making something this artistically beautiful and making it, like, just going at it and looking like, I could do better is amazing to me. You could replace a lot of Damn with these projects and I would be like, this is an amazing album. They could have, oh my gosh, it's an amazing album. Amazing. But yeah, Untitled Unmastered has some really great throwaways from Kendrick. Can't believe I'm even calling him that. Really great projects from Kendrick. Untitled number 8, Untitled number 5, Untitled number 2. Just some beautiful points on this album. Some jazz performances that, of course, you cannot hate on. I'm a huge jazz-centric fan. I'm a jazz guy. I love my jazz. If y'all saw my vinyl collection video, you'll understand. But yeah, not too much to speak on since these are really his, you know, his leftovers. But regardless, still some awesome moments to come out of it. Have to go B tier. I feel like that's a given. I don't know why you wouldn't love a project that has such beautiful jazz instrumentals and such great Kendrick performances. It plays more like a playlist, but it's still so beautiful. Honestly, just give it a try. I know a lot of you have listened to it, but I really would give it a try. Next up, we have Mr. Morale and the Big Stompers. Yes, sir. I love this project. To the heavens and above. Love it, love it, love it. I think my feelings for this album have only grown, honestly. I get there are tracks like Purple Hearts and Die Hard that don't really get much love because they're a bit more, once again, on the plain side when it comes to R&B. But my feelings for this album have only grown stronger since the release of it. Listening to it more, having more time with it, being able to sit with it and really understand a lot more messages and themes that I hadn't really picked up on before, definitely gave me a much broader sense of what Kendrick was going through and why this album is so important, especially for the future of hip-hop being such a closed off genre, right? Where we're a bit more how do I put it, confident with ourselves. We're a bit more egotistic, which is fine, right? We want to be challengers when it comes to this genre. But Mr. Morale gets authentic and bare in a way that a lot of rappers have not. A lot of rappers have. Like, I think it's a very sensitive album that deters a good portion of people because of how serious it is with itself, how deep he gets with certain things, and a lot of people don't really see the need to hear about certain issues, like with trans, like talks of being transgender, what is on being transgender, talks of situations like toxic relationships, certain stuff like that. But then you have tracks like Father Time that a lot of people should hear, and I could even relate to in a way. You have tracks like United in Grief, tracks like Count Me Out, which I was bumping so much before it became popular with the internet. Yeah, an album to actually write home about. Definitely an album to remember. And yeah, there were projects like Jay-Z's 444, which came before it, right? Like, as much credit as you want to give Mr. Morale for being influential in the sense of being open and honest with your listeners, you have 444 also to thank for kind of killing off that ego and being the most authentic you can be for once, right? Kind of just like admitting and owning up to your mistakes, letting the world hear how sorry you are, or even how much you really struggled internally that they didn't know about. Kendrick takes that idea and kind of pushes it a step further and goes even farther into his journey with therapy, into his journey with infidelity, kind of trying to come back from all of it, the steps to kind of heal from that, kind of trying to kill off his ego, but also kill off this idea that he is our savior. We shouldn't look up to somebody like him who has problems himself. He is just as human as the rest of us. Very important project, very beautiful project. I'll give it an A tier. I think it's his third best album. I think it's his third best. I'll say it again. I think it's his third best project. Top 3 Kendrick Lamar album, beating out Dan, beating out Section 80, whatever you want to say. Beautiful project, deserves all the love in the world. Yeah, super, super strong album. 9 out of 10. Love it. We have G.N.X. Kendrick's newest, Kendrick's most, it's funny too, because it feels like a 180 after kind of just being honest and open and bare with your listeners. Now we're back to this egocentric maniac style he's got going on, where he doesn't care about anything. Bro wiped out his competition. He mopped the floor with Drake. Now he's feeling himself. Now he's feeling on top of the world. He's feeling great about what he's capable of. He doesn't care how you feel about him. He doesn't care how anybody feels about him. No one's going to stop him from doing better. No one's going to stop him from loving his life. No one's going to stop him from being #1 in the rap game. That's essentially what it is. I'm #1 in the rap game. This is my victory lap. This is for me to double down on how I've been feeling. Yeah, he's been working on GNX for a while. He's probably been working on it before the beef, if I'm not wrong. But I think it's perfect that it came out after everything that's happened in 2024. I think this came out at the exact time we needed to come out. And it even has some of his best performances. It has Heart Part 6. It has Heart Part 6. It has Squabble Up. It has Whacked Out Murals. These tracks need to get some more love. I get it. It's popular to call GNX his weakest because it doesn't have a strong concept behind it. It doesn't have strong thematic allegory behind it. There's a lot behind it that doesn't feel as potent and as important as something like Damn or something like Mr. Morale or TPAB or G.K.M.C. Whatever. I don't care. Beautiful project. Fun. Super fun project. You can have fun with an album. It doesn't always have to be super deep. You can have fun with an album. This is the most party album we've gotten from Kendrick, and he killed it. Beautiful West Coast project. West Coast focused, West Coast oriented. Shining light. I'm glad he went back to his California roots. His LA roots. Gotta love it. Just a lot of G-Funk West Coast influence on this project, you know, being a California native himself. Even putting on smaller residents from the California area, which was great in my opinion. I think a lot more artists should kind of put on the smaller people around them, you know. He's kind of giving back to his community, kind of bringing people up with him, and he made some bangers out of it. I like Hey Now. Hey Now's a great track. Yeah, Dodie 6 was on that one, right? Dodie 6 killed it. Beautiful project. Fun project. Really fun project. It may not be strong conceptually. It may not be the strongest writing wise, but it's entertaining. You can say that much. It's entertaining, and the fact that it came out during the time it did helps it a lot too with its quality, because all I can think of is A minor. It's cringe now. I'm sorry. I know it's cringe to say that now, but it's a fun project. Yeah, even Luther grew on me a lot from when I first heard it. Beautiful project. Even Reincarnated. Don't want to forget about that. I just gotta shout out all the tracks on this album because y'all seem to really forget. Don't get it twisted. This album got some bangers. Y'all can hate all you want. It's got bangers. B tier. B tier. Yeah, that's right. It's better than Damn. I don't care. You think I care? I really don't. It's up there with Section 80. I don't care. Fun project. Yeah, S tier for TPAB. G.K.M.C, Mr. Morale are kind of fighting neck and neck, but G.K.M.C does edge it out. It is more of a 10 out of 10, more closer to a 10 out of 10 in my opinion. You have Section 80, Untitled Unmastered, and GNX at B tier. Perfectly fine. Kind of Kendrick in a more relaxed state. Well, not a relaxed state, but not at his highest. He's not at his strongest when it comes to his abilities, but still doing well enough to give us a quality project. And then at C tier you have Damn. Strong moments, but a lot of weak points that I really don't need to go back to. I don't feel the need to go back to it. This is my Kendrick Lamar ranking. I'm not mad at it, and I think for a freestyled video I kind of touched on a lot of points that I would have just typed up. I'm getting better. I feel like I need to do more of these in order to get better. I need to stop being so afraid of tripping over my words, of stumbling. This is kind of what this is about, right? This is about me being authentically myself and just loving music. I'm a huge music fan, if y'all don't know. One second, let me show y'all something. Shout out to my cousin, man. He recently got me JID's Forever Story on vinyl. Really, sure, you can say it's a popular basic pick, but it's Forever Story. It's a classic. I don't care. Anyway, this is a Kendrick Lamar video. Hope y'all enjoyed. Let me know y'all ranking. Let me know if I missed anything y'all wanted me to talk about. And let me know if I could work on certain things, like certain arguments I had, certain takes I had. I mean, it's not like I'm going to change the way I feel, but like I just want to know if like I can improve my speaking ability. See y'all later.